guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Movers Corner, aka TMC, and this is the second episode. My name is Banele Tshabalala.
And I am Edwin Lebuso, and on today's episode we are unpacking our so our first day at primary, high school, uni, first job, and our first day at our current jobs. And Banana will take it away with us first.
Well, my first day at school was a bit of a blur, but I do recollect a number of things which were very new to me. Look, guys, I went to a primary school, which was a multiracial primary school. I think it still is a multiracial primary school. I was one of the first at home to actually do it. And honestly, I am the only one to actually do it at primary school. So the one thing which I learned, which I remember clearly from the first day, was discovering new races. Discovering new races. And when I say discover new, I just mean, for me, it was a discovery. Of course, they existed before I was there. They existed, but now I knew that there were white people, there were Indians, there were colored, and then within those factions, you weren't only just whites. In there, you'd have people who are saying, I'm English, you have somebody saying, no, I'm from Dutch descent, African, all of that.
Yeah.
Then your Indians also had their own ways, by the way. I remember going to school, and they kind of overwhelmed me a bit.
Yeah.
Even though it was the first grade, it was quite awesome because I was learning a language which I hadn't actually spoken ever before, which is actually English. Which is funny because it's the one thing I'm speaking now. Very weird. Very weird. And your first day at school?
To be honest, I'm very bad with my memory is not that good, especially
Especially the first day.
especially the
Guys, I have a
first day.
feeling he's probably one of those guys that actually missed the first day of school.
So what I can remember from primary was the day I got upgraded from grade 3 to grade 4 mid-year. I think that was the highlight of my primary years. So what happened was, grade 3, we got given like homework and tests and whatever, and I would perform at a certain level, and the teachers felt that I was like ahead of,
Of the class.
Yeah, I'm a bit too advanced for the class. So
The IRS guys.
then I got upgraded to grade 4. Funny enough, my friend started school like a year prior to me. We ended up in the same class because I was like,
just out of interest. So when they were grading you guys for your class, who was ahead?
which class?
When you guys in the same class.
No, I still
outperformed.
So and I remember we had this rivalry with this other guy. His name was Tshabalala. So we made it a point that we were competing against each other. So in this test, I'd perform him, and it would be a challenge. It was an ongoing thing. I remember this one day, our class teacher took us to assembly, and we had like the whole school applauding, like these are the top performers, and we had that banter amongst ourselves to say, no, I'm better than you. So whenever a new test or a new activity would come, it would then will give you more of a bragging right to say, I am performing you on this, therefore I'm better than you. And then the next one comes. So it was, I really enjoyed that.
This is primary,
This is primary.
I was not competing against anyone.
I was very competitive in primary.
Jeez, I wasn't. I remember the highlight scholastically is actually when I got upgraded to the A class in mathematics. And when that happened, I remember it was a big hoo-ha. I never even knew that I was actually in the B class of maths. Like, yet alone that I was getting upgraded.
Like, keep him there.
I remember the teacher coming to me. I think it was Mrs. Hennigsburg, and she said to me, Banele, we just actually reviewed your marks. You do not deserve to be in this class. We need to take you to the A class.
No.
I was more surprised at the fact that I was in the B class. I never knew there was. I thought Minaguti, look, it's maths period, we all go to maths.
Yeah.
I knew that people were shuffling around for different classes during maths, only to find out, no.
On that point,
it's different.
On that point, Bana, what's your take on that? On separating students based on performance? Like keep, for lack of a better word, keep the dumb kids with the dumb kids and the smart kids with the smart kids.
Thank God I
and
never
the
went to a dumb class.
guys in between. So do you think, because when you think about it, that there's an argument for both, right?
Yeah.
To say the guys who aren't performing might be disruptive in class, thereby stifling the guys who are actually smart. Whereas if you have the class of smart guys, they focus, they can achieve. You understand?
Yeah.
The problem is
You see,
disruptive. The whole cohort. If we're all disruptive, then what happens there?
I don't know.
Could that
was a D class.
could that also be the reason that they don't perform?
Look, I think it's kind of twofold. Think of it in terms of where we live now. The areas which people are quite affluent and have money. There are places whereby people don't have the means. You understand? Does it really change how you literally perform? Not always entirely. I think it goes down to the individual. I understand and see what they were trying to do when they were separating the different classes with the high performers, mid-tier, and the slower learners in that context. Because at least in the slower learner class, what they do is they pace it so it's palatable and you can munch on it. From my understanding, that's what they were doing. I did not actually go to that class, but I remember A class in maths. Oh boy, the pace was different. It was different. I literally felt like I was in varsity then. For me, it was a bit higher. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, guys. I was happy in the B class. Can I go back? But anyways, I stayed in the A class and I continued. I soldiered on, but boy, was it a struggle. Yeah. I think the separation is kind of needed, but the integration again later helps because remember they will separate the classes. I might be A class in maths, but B in English. So I might see the C or D students at the B class in maths.
Yeah. So everyone's strengths is highlighted. It touches what we said. We spoke about in the last episode. To say highlighting people's strengths instead of just measuring them on one metric. And we use the analogy of climbing a tree and other people are fish. Yeah. So I think the way you've explained it, I think. Yeah, it gives me a different perspective as well because I was kind of opposed to it. Anyway, that's a different topic for another day. And I will just start with my first day at university. First day at university, first day at high school. My God, how did we go from primary to university?
Oh yes, no, there's high school in between.
So in terms of my first day at high school, it was a very smooth transition because from grade 6 I changed schools, went to St. Mary's. St. Mary's joined St. Rose fully, and then after then moved to St. Bernard. So it was a very St. Rose is the church.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Catholic school. So it was sort of mandated that in order for you to attend, you need to join the church, and because they're so interlinked in terms of activities, you also feel like you want to join the church because you're part of the church. So yeah, it was a very smooth transition for me because everyone I knew then, we all just moved to St. Bernard's. Yeah, it was no culture shock, and the schools are like 200-300 meters away from each other. So
lucky you.
It was I was.
My one, guys, was different. I got shipped all the way from Pinetown to Vryheid. What, 3-4 hours?
Vryheid.
Yeah, well, actually, it might be more. It might be almost.
Vryheid.
Yeah, Vryheid. Yeah, it's in north.
Next door, Utrecht. That one.
Yeah, that one. Hence, I knew how to navigate it. We brought back memories.
That's we're gonna have a special.
Yeah, we are actually
whole
gonna invite the
Friday.
person. We need to invite the person.
Unpacking the trip to Utrecht, so stay tuned.
Yeah, so on that point, I actually went to Inkamana High School, which is in Freyhead. Also Catholic, boarding school over and above that. I think the best years of my schooling life from grade 1 to 12 came from Inkamana, because there was a huge brotherhood and sisterhood which actually came from it. And there's even that thing when I meet somebody who went to Inkamana, you could have actually had your matric at 1976. We will respect each other, we will talk, and there are certain things which we all go through, in actual fact, if you went to Inkamana, or somewhere in Freyhead, whether it's estate whatsoever,
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. And you know what? You can also subscribe. Anyways,
definitely.
anyways, so there, I learned quite a lot. Whereby you work as a unit, because I found out that if you do not play ball, things were not really going to work. We all had our duties to do. On Saturday it was full on duties. The guys actually went to school with a year ahead of me, 2 years ahead of me, a year after me. I'm still close with those guys, and we still connect, and we actually support each other with whatever we want to do. We even have our own group on Facebook for all the alumni Inkamana alumni, and we actually interact there, and we actually share ideas and pull each other up with regards to whatever the other person is doing. If somebody's in trouble, we even have an account whereby we actually contribute to, and we utilize that to actually give back to the school which we went to.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
Yeah, to be honest, that was like the best time. It's the time whereby I became very idealistic, guys, and this is how I actually am sitting here. Very idealistic, whereby you need to work with people and interact with others so you can pull each other up, which is why we believe in this Emakasi stories and actually uplifting.
100%. I think you can kick off uni and maybe a brief about your first job.
All right, cool, guys. I'll pull the hat, the rabbit out of the hat, or the hat out of the rabbit, depends on how you view it, in reverse or normal time. But I went to a number of universities. I started at Wits University, whereby I was reading for a degree in Bachelor of Arts, where I was doing media studies and international relations. I unfortunately didn't finish that due to the vibe is different, guys. All I can say is that the vibe is different. No?
All you
Yeah, the vibe is different. The vibe was different, and for me it was a bit more of a shock. And then later on, I went to UNISA. That's when I actually started coding. Yeah. I did my computer science over there. Also didn't finish that because I went straight to work in between. But let me stick to university. After that, I actually went through and did my what is it? Brand and marketing management at Vega, which I recently received my qualification. So yep. Hey, guys, I did it. It doesn't matter how long later. And then, and then
alumni guy.
And actually, maybe I guess maybe the accent spoke to that.
You know,
I'm kidding, guys. and then now I'm reading for a Bachelor of Admin via Regenesis. And I'm on my second module, actually economics. I had a class this morning.
Yeah.
So one thing I've continued to do is to continue learning and teaching myself, because the other things which I'm doing on the other side with school, but I won't talk about them now. And your end?
First day at university was a culture shock. First, I need to confess. So I was one of the late applicants. So
I doubt there was anybody applied really. But
so other people started applying in grade 11 and grade 12. I waited until I got my results, and then I went to the campus, to UOS, University of the Free State for the other folk. So yeah, it was a bit stressful because I was panicking, wondering if I'll actually get in. Fortunately, I made it, and I got entry into two fields. I got entry into law, LLB, as well as BCom General Management. So I've always had this arrogance in high school. So I thought I was gonna do both degrees at the same time. Yeah, wishful thinking. Got there.
Ambition.
First lecture. I don't remember what law it was. My friend, 45 minutes I was lost at sea. Like I knew nothing. And what shocked me is people came prepared with a case that they were arguing. That time I don't even have a textbook. I'm like, what's going on here? This other guy had a whole case prepared, like arguments, opening statements. I'm like, guys, no, I didn't get the memo to this one. You understand? So after that, I went straight to my student advisor. I was like, nah, this law thing it's not gonna work. Signed up for BCom General Management, which I later changed. I think midway second year because they touched modules or fields which were not of interest to me. Then I went straight to marketing, finished marketing, undergrad. I did the BCom honors in marketing as well. So from UFS, there's a saying that goes, only a Kopsi knows the feeling. And boy, everyone who's been there knows the feeling. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. So yeah, that was my experience.
I'm actually trying to remember. I don't remember the one in Vega, but all good.
So Banele, first day at your first job and your first day at your current job.
First day, my first job, I remember, walked in there, I got reminded that my qualifications don't count for track. I was a waitress, by the way, and I got given an apron and a badge that said trainee, and that was the beginning of it. Boy, there's a reason why they say it's called spinning when you're in when you're in the retail industry and serving restaurants. It humbled me. It taught me a lot about people, and that probably leads to my first day at my current job, whereby I only got that because of the people I know, and okay, not only because of that, but I had actually shown and proven my track record prior to that, and now I understand that I actually have to serve for the greater good of people, and yeah, it was quite hectic for my current job. I know I got given like everything right there and then. I was like, I had to figure out myself. A bit of a nightmare, but quite cool. And your end?
First day job, I started working very early. I was still in high school, so I would be a merchandiser. So yeah, retail. Boy, retail. But there's a lot of learnings and a lot of like a work ethic that you get from working in retail. It just shapes you, it shapes your character. I really enjoy that, interacting with people, understanding customer satisfaction, customer experience, and you could be like dying on your knees, but when a customer comes in, you need to like put it the whole you need to put on a very convincing show.
Yeah, I agree. I know. I
you can't show them that you're in pain, but anyway, I think that's from a work ethic perspective. I really appreciate that experience. First, my current job was my God, it was the day itself was uneventful, but I was still adjusting to being here in Durban, having recently moved, not knowing anybody, and I had the pleasure of meeting yourself and her as well. First sort of couple of days were uneventful, and I got given a task to calculate ROI on events. So that was my first sort of assignment. Finished it same day, and the guy was shocked, like, "Yo, bro, I thought, like, why? What's the rush?" I'm like, I was so eager to impress. I think that is the thing. Plus, I was not doing anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my
Consider now,
story,
like,
guys.
Yeah, do quite a lot these days. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for joining us on the second episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, and you know what? Tell your friend and your cousin, baby mama, baby daddy,
Okay.
everyone.
It went there.
Yeah.
Can we go there?
Yeah.
The next thing is psycho exes, but anyway.
Sorry, guys. We'll see you on the third episode. Thank you very much.
Also, guys,
Oh.
before we go, please share your stories with us in the comments. Would love to read some of your firsts as well. We will do a recap in the next episode as well. So thank you, like, share, subscribe, and adios.
Cheers, guys.